showtime. Alright, good afternoon everybody. I'm Chris Leslie and it's time for the Chris Leslie Show. And I'd just like to assure everyone at Ustream that that intro song did not violate anybody's copyright. It's just a little something I recorded earlier today. Anyways, glad to be happy to be broadcasting live on Ustream right now. It's pretty cool. So just to give you a brief idea of the plan is going to do a little bit of discussion about professional psychology, a little bit of law discussion, maybe some sports, maybe some music, maybe some fun stuff if we can fit that in. But reason being is I have a lot of homework, so I'm going to try to incorporate podcasting and homework at the same time. So if you have better things to do, then tune in. First of all, I won't at all be offended, and I think your lives will not be adversely affected by missing this podcast. You'll be okay. But if you're bored and you just want to see what I'm up to, tune in. And I think I have the chat tools enabled, so if you want to like just correspond with us at all, with me, I say us like I have this big staff and people are here, but nobody is, it's just me. So if you want to correspond with me or say something or whatever, do that. If you have my phone number, you can call me and I can put you on the air if I get your permission first. If you don't have my phone number, then I'm probably not going to give it to you. Unless you're somebody I want to have it, but you never know. So I'm going to go ahead and type in the what we're doing right now for the update, and then I'll check the chat stream and get started. I can't talk and type at the same time, so I'm just going to concentrate on one thing at a time, and it'll go a lot faster that way. that's done. Oh, I almost forgot. Today's Wednesday, October 12th, which means that I have to wish all of you a Woohoo Wednesday. And I definitely don't want to take credit for that one, because I didn't make that one up. I actually borrowed that from a bus driver that was driving my bus today that I was on. Every stop that he got to and would let passengers out, he made the announcement that it was Woohoo Wednesday, and he wished everyone a Woohoo Wednesday and encouraged them to wish him a Woohoo Wednesday should they feel the need. So that was kind of funny. But the bus driver was pretty cool, because I had an appointment at 9 o'clock, and my day just did not start out right at all. First of all, the bus that I needed to catch to get to my appointment, I needed to be at that stop at 7:14 in the morning. And from where I live to that stop, I would say that if you're walking at a pretty fast speed, you could make it in about 13 minutes, but I would say an average speed would be about 17 minutes. Well, I woke up at like 7:01 this morning, so I had 13 minutes to get to my bus stop. Oh, and that's get out of bed, get dressed, and get to my bus stop. I don't know how I did it, to be honest with you, because I can never get out of the house that fast. Never. I just can't even get my shoes on that fast half the time. But luckily, my mom gave me a ride to the bus stop, and I made it. So you would think, okay, well, you got up late, but you made it to your bus stop, so that's good news, right? No, because the bus that I was supposed to catch, it was an express bus that went from where I live straight into downtown Seattle, without making a whole bunch of stops or having to change buses. And it was going to let me off, I believe, 1 block from my destination. So perfect as far as a bus goes. Unfortunately, I had a little bit of a hard time sleeping last night because my neck was giving me a lot of problems, and so I was pretty groggy when I woke up this morning. And I just inadvertently got on the wrong bus. The bus came, and I just thought, oh, that's my bus, and I didn't even look at it. And pretty soon the bus started making stops that I wasn't expecting it to make, and I started thinking to myself, that's weird. And then I thought, well, why? How come we didn't get on the freeway? How are we getting into Seattle? And then I was like, then I heard them announce Bothell parking ride, next stop, and I'm like, that's not part of the stop. And I was like, no. And I started looking around, and I was like, oh no. And I realized what bus I was on, which is the 105 bus is what it's called. And the 105 bus is one of those routes that goes from Mariner Park and Ride to University of Washington Bothell. And so like Mariner Park and Ride is on 128th Street, kind of just off of the freeway of I-5 in Everett. And then UW Bothell is I think just off of Beardsley Boulevard in Bothell. But the majority of the route that bus travels is the Bothell Everett Highway, which spans between Bothell and Everett, obviously. And it makes every stop you can imagine. It's really slow. There's some times where I get off at a Canyon Park, which is about 3 miles from where I live, and if I have more than a 5-minute wait for the 105, then it's in my best interest to walk 3 miles, and I'll get home around the same time if I wait for the 105. It's a slow bus. So that was how I started today, and I was pretty freaked out because my appointment was at 9 o'clock, and it was to get a surgical consult for my neck, and so it was pretty important, and I did not want to miss this appointment. And so I was stressed out because then here I am at UW Bothell, the end of the line for the 105, and I was like, how in the world am I going to get to downtown Seattle now? And so luckily there are buses that go from Utah Bothell to Seattle, but they make stops too, and I wasn't sure where it was going to let me off and what time I was going to get there. And so luckily the bus driver, Mr. Wahoo Wednesday, he told me my best bet was to get off at 2nd and Jackson, which isn't that close to where I was going, because I was going to Harborview Medical Center, and that's located on 9th and Jefferson. So he said, yeah, but I can take you to Harborview, because he said, I have to go back to the base after the last stop, so there's no one on the bus. So he actually was nice enough and let me off, I swear, right in front of Harborview Hospital. So I was like maybe 5 or 6 minutes late, whereas had it not been for the kindness of this bus driver, I would have just been screwed as far as from a time standpoint. So anyhow, that's the story of the Woohoo Wednesdays. So pretty nice guy. And then let's see. So that's how the day started. And I guess the good news is that according to the resident that I got to speak with, I didn't even get to speak with the actual doctor. They don't recommend surgery because at my age and the points where I have the problems, it would take multiple surgical steps or something. It wouldn't be a good idea for me at this point, is what they're saying. And he thinks so. He's going to recommend a lot of rehab and physical therapy, but I guess I have beginning stages of arthritis in my neck, so I was pretty excited to hear about that. And so yeah, if you see me move around and fidget and crack my neck, it's because of that. And that all was caused by I was back in June, I was riding my bike going straight like this in the bike lane, and this guy didn't see me, and I had a green, and he went boom at the last minute and hit me and just knocked me off the bike. And now I get all these things. They called them, I get these really bad headaches, and he called them occipital headaches. I guess it's because of the tension in the muscles in your neck, and it's causing the pain in the whatever it is back here. So yeah, I've been in a lot of pain with that. So anyways, that was that. So that's out of the way. But I have a ton of work to do tonight. Because let's see, I'm in 2 academic programs. One is a grad program. I'm getting a master's in psych through the University of Phoenix online, and so I just started a new class. We're in week 2 of that class, and that's called it's called the Survey of Professional Psychology, and so we got 2 discussion questions that I need to answer for that class. Plus, I need to post 2 substantive posts in the discussion forums. Plus, I believe there's a learning team assignment. Well, I know for a fact there's a learning team assignment that's due this week. And from what I gathered, my fellow learning teammates are quite anal. So I'm going to have to accommodate their anxieties as far as wanting the assignments done and submitted by, when is it? Saturday, even though they're not due till Monday. I think that's a little extreme. Then I'm also in a paralegal studies program working on getting a paralegal certificate. And so right now I'm taking litigation and administrative law. And so I have a big assignment for the litigation course due tomorrow, which is drafting a summons and complaint. And it wouldn't seem to be that hard, except it has to be in this perfect, particular format. And the fact pattern that we're tailoring the summons and complaint around is based in King County, which each jurisdiction has its own rules that are particular to that. What the heck? Oh, thought my screen was going dead. Have particular rules that with regard to like format and those sorts of things, depending on the jurisdiction. So the whole point of the exercise is to teach us how to do these properly. So the teacher is going to be very particular about those formatting issues. So I got to get to work on that. That's probably priority number one right now, because it's due tomorrow. And then next would be the University of Phoenix 2 discussion questions. I like to get those out of the way. And then 2 substantive posts, get those out of the way by midnight. And then I need to do 2 similar, like, answers to discussion questions for my admin law class. Get those out of the way. And then it would be nice to try and knock out my portion of that team assignment tonight. Get that out of the way too. If I could do all those things, I'll feel pretty good about myself. But who knows? So we're gonna start with that, and then we're gonna go to we're gonna start with litigation. We'll get that thing knocked out, hopefully, and then go to psychology, and then go to admin law, and then we'll see where we're at after that. And I'll try to make some fun stuff in between now and then. So while I get situated as far as my tools of what I need and whatnot, I'll play you a karaoke performance from one of the people who left me feedback. And this is performed by Brit Ski, and I think she's located in Norway. So let's take a listen to Brit Ski.
Stop by and say hello, and I laughed and hide the pain. It's quite easy till I go, then the song begins again. She is passing by the window. She hears
Let's hear it for Britsky. Nice job. My multitasking skills are, you know, not that good, to be honest with you. So please excuse me while I try and get situated. Alright. Let's see. I'm gonna get so confused here in a minute. I'm trying to search my inbox for an email that I sent to myself because when we first started this assignment, he had class in the computer lab, and that's how I did it, because for an unrelated reason my backpack's gone and it had my books for this class and my little flash drive in it, so I couldn't do it that way. That was a nice flash drive too. It really makes me mad, and it was a nice backpack. Alright, I'm sorry. I don't need to whine about that, but I really miss it, and it's hard to study for a class without the book. But I don't have $150 to get it. Let's see here. No. Gosh darn it. I even gave it a stupid subject heading so that I would recognize it easily. I don't even send myself that many emails, so it shouldn't be that hard to find. But I think what it's doing is, uh-oh, no, did we really? Oh, whew. I thought we closed the browser. Now let me turn this volume back up a little bit. Alright, okay, that's better, huh? Okay. I think what it's doing though is pulling up all the emails I've sent to anyone, not just to myself. It's very annoying. I wanted to find an email where I was the sender and the recipient. Come on. Oh, and then we haven't talked about this much, and I will at some point when we have time to. But as far as my artwork, I started a website for it, and every single time, I know I can probably change this setting, but every single time I make a change to that website, I get an email about it. So I have all these stupid emails from Google saying changes to CALX, blah 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 blah. It's very annoying. Okay, well, wait a minute, let's start here. It's October 12th. So, it was last Thursday when I sent this to myself. Which means that the 11th was Tuesday, the 10th was Monday, the 9th was Sunday, the 8th was Saturday, the 7th was Friday, the 6th. I need October 6th. Okay, that helps. Whew. I'm getting a headache when I'm just looking at all these stupid email messages. Alright. Okay, there it is. I entitled the subject line, yay! Okay. Download. And if anyone's listening on or is on the chat stream or whatever, I have a question for anyone out there who wants to answer it. I have a printer, and I print stuff all the time except Microsoft Word documents. Every time I try to print Microsoft Word documents, it says no printer installed. Then where it has the option that says install printer, it says something like directory domain unavailable. And I wonder why that is. Is it because I'm using a trial version of Word 2010, maybe? I don't know. But if anyone knows or has any thoughts as to what the problem with that is, I'd greatly appreciate it, and I would be very interested in knowing. Okay, so I have this document pulled up. Okay, and what is this? This is the complaint, I believe, and it's a matter of Superior Court of Washington for the County of King, Carl Evan Amici. This is all fictitious. Alright, so let's get into this. Oh, I have to enable editing, don't I? Alright. Got that up, so let's minimize that for a second. And now let's go back to here. Oh, shut up. Sorry, I'm talking to my... Alright. Who is next? What's next? What's going on? Okay. That's done. Chat stream. We're on free field. Say hello. No volume. Yo. Oh, somebody said no volume and then they said yo. Is that? Oh, hi. Hi, Oregon Sports. Hi. Hi. Is this clip penning? Penning? Well, that's cool. I think that was... Shoot. I'm going to pronounce his name wrong, of course. It's Fenning, I believe. Cliff Fenning. Anyways, I met with him when I worked at the radio station in Salem, and he's starting a kind of like an online publication and a hard publication called Oregon Sports. And basically what it's designed to do is put like this other stupid website called OregonLive.com, put them out of business because they cover like high school sports and local athletics and stuff like that, but they're not very good at it. And he had some really great ideas as far as how to like cover local sports and stuff like that. And he has a journalism background, and he really knew what he was doing. And I was hoping to kind of get our radio station to work with him, because I thought that there were some good opportunities for the two to work together, and so did he. But unfortunately, where I was working, they weren't real receptive to, let's just say, any sort of opportunities. But yeah, so anyways, hi Cliff, hope Oregon Sports is going well. Let me know. Thing is I don't get on Facebook very often, so I'm really bad at keeping in touch with people, even on or off of Facebook. But I know that him and I are probably friends on Facebook. But it's good to hear from Cliff, and I hope that Oregon Sports is doing very well. Okay. Let's see. And then, oh yeah, a comment. Very good thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. apologize for the squeaky chair. I never realized how annoying that was. Go back. Go back. Who's next? Ow! Sorry, neck crack. Okay. So, our next entertainer, we're not going to listen to her right now, but our next entertainer that we will listen to when the time comes is Churbear2221. Hold on, let me pause this before it starts, just so it can just buffer. Alright, there we go. Just in the nick of time. And we'll do that in a little while. Now, I will go to the my school website online and pull up the discussion questions for this week. Actually, I might have those in a folder. I might have saved them. Hold on. Well, either way, I think they're contained in the syllabus. Stupid syllabus. How do I zoom in on this? There we go. All right. Week 2. Okay. This is a long damn discussion question, that's all I know. And that's only the first one. What? Oh, you're kidding me. No, this is not making me happy at all. Alright. Now. Sorry for my gum chewing. Actually takes my mind off of my headaches. That's actually, honest to God, last night I could not sleep at all, and I was in just excruciating pain, and that's the only thing that worked and finally helped me get to sleep, was putting a piece of gum in my mouth and chewing it, and then I was able to fall asleep. And luckily, I even was able to have enough presence of mind to take the gum out and throw it away as I was falling asleep. So it worked out. Times New Roman, 12 font, double spaces. Alright, paste. Alright. Now I'll read these to you. This is just awful. As discussed in your week 2 readings, the first step in the ethical decision-making process is to identify the ethical dilemmas presented by a situation. For each one of the following situations, I would like for you to identify the ethical dilemmas presented in the situation and tell us how you would handle it and what ethics code applies. Are you kidding? The actual ethics codes? I don't plan on reading that. A client that you have been seeing for some time comes to a session very upset. He has recently lost his job and the rent is due. He is married with 2 small children and has been trying unsuccessfully to find a new job. He asks you if you'd be willing to loan him $100. until he gets his unemployment check, which should occur next week. Well, obviously you're probably not supposed to loan your clients money. That's my guess. And you probably shouldn't loan crazy people money. But I don't know what ethics code that. Okay, this is stupid. B. You have been seeing a client in therapy for about 1 year to deal with issues having to do with relationships. The client has had difficulty with relationships in the past. During the course of your therapy with her, the client meets someone, falls in love, and is planning a wedding. She comes into your session very excited and tells you that she wants you to come to her wedding. She believes strongly that she would not have been able to make this step had she not been in therapy with you. I personally don't. No, I was going to say that doesn't raise any ethical dilemmas, but it might, because there's the whole like privacy, privilege, confidentiality issue between the patient and the client. And if the therapist was to go to the client's wedding and then someone's like, oh, so how do you know so-and-so? I'm your therapist. That might be a violation of that ethics right there. So that's probably the ethical dilemma there. C. You have begun seeing a client in therapy and find that his insurance does not cover outpatient mental health issues. You suggest to the client that you will continue to see him for a reduced rate so that he is able to continue and pay out of pocket for his sessions. Okay, well, I'm sure there's some like BS regulation that prevents you from doing anything that's not in the best interest of insurance companies, but personally I see no ethical problem with that, but I'm sure there is. Probably the insurance companies don't like it when you circumvent them, but that's in my opinion probably the issue there. And I hate insurance companies, just for the record. I think insurance companies are a bunch of just corrupt bastards. Okay. What? Okay, D. A client you have been seeing for 6 months is now finished with therapy. At his last session, he presents you with a very expensive painting that he believes would look good in your office. He states that he is grateful for all you have done for him and wants to show his appreciation to you. I'm assuming that you're not allowed to take gifts from clients, but I would take it anyways. But I'm not going to be a therapist, so don't worry. Yeah, even though he's done with therapy, but it's his last session, so he's probably not. So I think that you're probably not allowed to do that. You receive a telephone call from someone who identifies himself as Sergeant Williams of your city's police department. He informs you that they have just arrested someone who refuses to give them any information. They found one of your cards in his wallet and are hoping that you will be able to identify him and give them some information about that person arrested. The description of the person sounds very much like one of your clients. Please, okay, well this one's easy. You basically say F-U-P-I-G, go F yourself. No, that's a violation of confidentiality and privacy also. So, okay, that's question 1, and question 2 is, I want everyone to use the Internet University Library or the resources to locate a current article, no older than 5 years, that concerns the concept of ethical decision making. Read the article and post a short summary of its main points. Do not forget to include reference information for your article so your classmates can find it if they're interested in reading it. Reading the the material. Make sure your citation references comply with the APA publication manual. Also, read the comment on several of the summaries posted by your classmates. Please post your response to this thread. That sounds like a real treat. I think we've got like a little bit too gung-ho of an instructor on this one, and I'm not really liking her little style here. Okay, so I think this is a whole heck of a lot of text here, but I'm gonna see if it'll paste into the chat stream, and then people can like give their feedback on it. And please feel free to just say some smart ass remarks or inappropriate comments. I encourage those. I bet, because you could make some. You could have some fun with this and make it pretty funny if some of these situations. So if anyone's listening out there and they can come up with some good responses to this question, I would really appreciate it. I think it would be pretty funny. Let's see here. Where's this chat stream? Is right here. Oh, someone's knocking on my door. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, bleep. I'll be right back. Stay around. Ustream can do an ad. Can I help you? Door-to-door salesman for Comcast. Comcast is such a ripoff. Oh, nope, that's not gonna work. Oh, okay, maybe we can just do it like piece by piece. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Alright. Okay. Let's see. Identify. Wait. Gosh, I'm a moron. Sorry. Alright, we'll start out with maybe one situation, see what happens. I don't know, it still might be more words than we're allowed, but we'll see. Yeah, that's still 438 words. You gotta be kidding me. Okay, I can reword this myself. For each of the following situations, okay, cool. For each one of the following situations, identify the ethical dilemmas presented by the situation. And then when this thing refreshes, I'll put the first one up. And then it's time for me to start working on that stupid complaint. Oh, my tie needs to get adjusted. I tied this myself, by the way, today. It was already tied, but the knot wasn't very fresh, and so I undid it, and then I did it all by myself. And I think I did it in the first shot. Okay. Now, let's see. There's a stupid $sign symbol. Alright, that's the first one. We're going to take a short little break and come back in just a bit. So, enjoy the Ustream ads. We'll be right back. This one went real long. We'll be right back.